Welcome to the channel, everyone. If you are here, it means you want to improve your English, grow in life, and get inspired. And today, I have a powerful, real-life story that will not only motivate you, but also show you that anything is possible if you don't give up. But before we begin, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story like this one. Also, if you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who need this motivation. Now, let's get into the story. This is the story of a boy named Ravi. Ravi was born in a small village in India, a place where people barely spoke anything other than their local language. English? That was something only seen in movies or on television. No one in his family spoke it, and his school only taught basic phrases that had no real-life use. His father was a farmer, waking up before sunrise to work in the fields, and his mother spent her days taking care of their small home. They didn't have much, but they were happy. However, Ravi had a dream. He wanted to explore the world beyond his village. He wanted to talk to people from different places, understand their cultures, and build a better future for himself. But there was one problem. He didn't know English. One day, when he was 10 years old, something happened that changed his life. A British tourist couple visited his village, trying to communicate with the people. They were lost and needed directions, but no one understood them. Ravi watched in frustration. He wanted to help, but he couldn't understand a single word they were saying. That moment lit a fire inside him. "I have to learn English," he told himself. "I don't know how, but I will." But how do you learn a language when you have no teachers, no books, and no internet? The only thing Ravi had was an old radio that his uncle had given him. Every evening, he would sit by the radio, twisting the dial to find English news stations like BBC. He didn't understand a word at first, but he kept listening. The sounds, the rhythm, the tone, it all became familiar. He started repeating words, imitating the way the speakers spoke. People laughed at him. His classmates made fun of him. "Why are you wasting your time?" they would say. "You will never need English here." But Ravi didn't stop. One day, he found an old, torn English newspaper at the village market. He picked it up, even though he couldn't read it. He took it home and stared at the letters, trying to match them with the words he had heard on the radio. It was slow and frustrating, but every day he learned a little more. Then something amazing happened. A teacher at his school noticed his efforts. She was one of the few people in the village who spoke some English. Seeing his dedication, she decided to help. She gave him an old English dictionary and said, "This is your most powerful tool. Learn 5 new words every day, and in 1 year you'll know more than 1,800 words." That advice changed everything. Every morning before school, Ravi would memorize 5 words. He would write them down, repeat them, and use them in sentences. At night, he would listen to the radio, trying to catch those words in conversations. Years passed. Ravi kept practicing. He spoke to himself in English while walking through the fields. He imagined conversations in his mind. He even taught his little sister some words just to make it feel more real. At 18, Ravi got the opportunity to move to a nearby town for college. He was excited but also terrified. Would his self-taught English be enough? The first few months were tough. In class, the professors spoke in English, and many times Ravi couldn't understand everything. He felt lost. He even thought about giving up. But then he remembered all the nights he spent listening to the radio, all the words he had memorized, all the years of effort. He reminded himself, "I didn't come this far to quit now." He started watching English movies with subtitles. He made friends who spoke English and asked them to correct him whenever he made mistakes. He practiced speaking every single day. Then came the biggest challenge of his life, his first job interview. It was for a customer service role in a company that required fluent English. Ravi was nervous. He had never been in a formal interview before, let alone in English. The night before, he barely slept. He kept practicing his answers in front of the mirror. He reminded himself that mistakes were okay as long as he stayed confident. The next morning, he walked into the interview room. The interviewer asked him questions in English, and Ravi responded as best as he could. He wasn't perfect, but he was clear, and he didn't let fear stop him. A week later, he received a call. He got the job. It was the first step towards a new life. Today, Ravi works for an international company. He speaks English fluently and helps others learn, just as he once struggled to do. He often returns to his village, inspiring young children to believe in themselves. So if you ever feel like giving up, remember Ravi. You don't need expensive courses. You don't need to be in an English-speaking country. All you need is determination, consistency, and the belief that you can do it. Start small. Learn a few words every day. Speak to yourself. Watch English videos. Don't be afraid of mistakes. If Ravi could do it with nothing but a radio and a dictionary, you can do it too. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, let me know in the comments. Have you ever faced a similar challenge while learning English? I would love to hear your story. And don't forget, subscribe for more inspiring videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep learning, keep growing, and never stop believing in yourself.